In Holden, Mass., this is obviously not the Mississippi River, but this is, sort of.
What you're looking at here is about a 1:65 scale model of 2.5 miles of the Mississippi River.
Yes, it is. 200 feet long, 80 feet wide, flowing along in a huge building on the grounds of Holden's Alden Research Laboratory.
It's typical of the work that we do. What makes this one unique is the incredible scale. So it's not often that we fill an entire building with one model.
Alden engineer Dan Gessler and his team are working with the state of Louisiana to help the state find solutions to a big problem: its rapidly receding coastline.
So we have two things happening. Sea level's coming up, and the ground is slowly settling as well, and those combine for about 1 inch of loss in elevation every year.
The plan is to divert a section of the Mississippi just south of New Orleans and siphon off the river's sediment, which would then be used to build up the surrounding land area. As for this model, no details are overlooked.
So does this model really accurately replicate what the Mississippi River does in that section?
Yes, and all the forces that are acting on it and how it interacts with the structures, all of that has been scaled and replicated here.
That includes the exact topography of the area, the manner of the river's flow, right down to the sand-like sediment that Louisiana hopes to harvest, all carefully replicated, the resulting data all being carefully compiled to aid in a full-scale construction project. Providing such research on large projects involving water isn't new for Alden Lab, the oldest continuously operating hydraulic lab in the nation, involved in projects all over the world since 1894.
So many people in Holden and the surrounding areas don't know what's in their own backyard. They don't know that history and how long we've been here, 1894.
Meanwhile, the lab's newest big project is flowing smoothly, even if it is under the radar.
I think it's exciting every time I walk in and get to see the model and realize you're looking at 2.5 miles of the Mississippi River right here in Holden.
Eventually, many colleges and universities will resume their full traditional functions. Alas, the tradition of their exorbitant price tags is likely to stick around.
But what if there was a college that would offer free tuition to anyone who got in, if you just lived in a certain town? Well, there is such a college and such a town.
The college is Dartmouth in Hanover, New Hampshire, where we dropped in this past winter. The town is less well known, Wheelock, Vermont. The town was founded in 1785 by John Wheelock, descendant of Dartmouth's founder, as a means of raising money for the college during its precarious early days.
The idea was the grants of land would provide income for the college.
Sale of the land grants produced about $2,000 a year, equivalent to more than $50,000 today.
It was a significant amount of money and probably saved the college at a time when it was really struggling.
To show its gratitude, Dartmouth decided to allow any student accepted from Wheelock to receive free tuition, a gesture that was made official in perpetuity in 1930.
It does say they have to present adequate preparation, so you got to get into the college.
Correct.
I think many times when I was a young kid going through school, people said, make sure you pay attention to your studies and you can go to Dartmouth someday.
Noah Manning did pay attention to his studies. He did go to Dartmouth tuition-free, graduated in 2017, and is now a third-year medical student in Boston. The 9th Wheelock resident to attend Dartmouth, he did make sure, after being accepted, that the financial aid folks knew exactly where he was from.
And at that point, we sent a letter saying, hey, if you didn't already see that I'm from Wheelock, make sure you make note of that as you're doing your calculation.
Little town, big perk. And if you're thinking what I was thinking, forget it.
So you couldn't move to Wheelock right now with your kid like 15, 16 and expect to take advantage of the agreement?
Well, I did say to my son at one point, if you're considering Dartmouth, let me know because we'll move to Wheelock and it's going to be a hell of a commute, but it's going to be worth it, right?
But no, does that not work?
No, it doesn't.
Darn that fine print.
And when he was a Dartmouth undergrad, Noah Manning invited Dartmouth President Philip Hanlon to visit Wheelock, making Hanlon the first modern Dartmouth president to do so. Noah Manning is one of only 9 Wheelock residents since 1830 to attend Dartmouth under the agreement with the town. He is the third of that group of Wheelock scholars to go into medicine. Up next, a story about spite.